live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.
All right, what up, everyone? It is Garrett from Elvis Duran and the Z100 Morning Show. Welcome to the Dunkin Latte Lounge, as it says right there on my Tumblr. Hold on. There we go. All right, Elise, Eriksen, welcome to the lounge. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great, and this is pretty cool for me. Getting to talk to you, just the history of just your family, the creativity. I love these opportunities to introduce the world to artists that they might be familiar with or they might not be, and I'm just so glad you made some time for us today.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on here.
No problem. All right, so let's talk. I mean, not let's go back to like the day you were born, obviously, but you have moved around from three major places in your life, and all pretty much chasing over something that you've grown up around, music. I mean, born in Norway, went to New York, now in LA. I mean, does it feel normal to you? Because like as a fan, people are like, that's crazy. You've moved all these places. I haven't left New Jersey in my entire life. Like, to you, that's normal though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it has become my normal kind of, but I mean, I've been really appreciative of being able to move around a lot
Of
because,
course.
I've met a lot of people, I've learned a lot about the world, and, I've always loved being in big cities because you just see
There's a
so much
vibe.
stuff. Yeah, it's honestly been great. I've been so lucky. And having Europe kind of as like my home base, it kind of grounds you a little bit, and it's nice to be,
Gotta love the
around people
dual.
who have,
Yep.
there's different values, and it's great though. And
The
I love Norway and the States equally, so
dual citizenship.
yep.
100%. There you go. All right. So
Hmm.
let's talk. You've grown up around music pretty much ever since you were born, correct?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
your dad being an amazing producer, one half of Stargate. I mean, just was it always something like growing up where you're like, I'm going to be in the music industry, or did you want to be like a nurse and then all of a sudden it just clicked for you and you got into music? Like, what was it always from day one you wanted to get into music?
Well, funny story, as a very young kid I wanted to be a dog walker, but
Okay.
but in fourth
I wanted
grade
to
I
catch
started.
dinosaurs growing up.
Aha, that's pretty cool.
Not find them. I wanted to literally catch them. Like, I think it was because I saw Jurassic Park at a very young age. So I was like, all right, they're around. So I just
You're
got to
like,
find
they
them.
exist, we
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah, we can do. I'm still convinced that they're around, but you never know. But that's so interesting, though. You wanted to be a dog walker.
When I was very young, yes. And then I started, taking music lessons in like the third, fourth grade, and I loved it. So I've been playing piano and singing since.
Now, did you
And
want to, or
yes, no,
did your
I loved
family
it.
like, you know what, Elise, we want you to get into this?
Maybe at first. I was with
Right.
classical piano. At first they were like classical piano, and I was like, no, not liking this. But then I started learning, songs that I heard on the radio. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I was like, I do kind of like this.
Do you
I
remember
don't
the
think my
first?
jam is Mozart. I think that's what I learned.
Do you remember the first song that you tried to learn or you mastered based off of listening to it on the radio?
It was If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys.
Like just amazing song in general, the vocals, and then just her ability to tickle the piano just the way she
It's
does so
ridiculous.
seamlessly too. So it's interesting then, as a fan growing up in music, and I talk to a lot of artists a lot, but you have that appreciation for it that like as a fan, I just think you go in the studio, you spend a couple hours, make a song, someone, exports it into a computer, then uploads it
Mhm.
to Spotify or iHeartRadio, and then that's it. But there's so much more little intricacies to making just not just one song, an album, a career out of it. Like you've known that since day one. Like you haven't been you never took that for granted.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that because of the way I grew up, I realized that it's not just the glamorous side. It's not just the, oh, look, I'm in the studio, or
I'm
oh,
on a
look, I'm at the
jet, look at
Grammys.
me.
Like, it's nothing like that. I mean, these people who you think, have such a easygoing life, they're actually working their butts off to, like make it, and to write and to produce and to sing and to be artists, and going to, shows, and doing all of this is such hard work, but people don't see that part. So
Now let's talk about the fact that you've grown up around some amazing artists. Like, do you feel like you have taken a little bit of each artist with you along the way to create your own sound?
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot from each artist. I think each artist, each very successful artist definitely has something like special about them. There's some character, there's something different. And I think that growing up watching all these people, I have learned a lot. But what's funny about it is I've listened mostly to like 70s rock music on my own, not even from my dad,
It
just on
wasn't
my
dad,
own.
but by the way, I don't know if you noticed, like dad checked in really quick. Like he
I
did.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that. He was like, "Hey."
Okay, I'm gonna slowly do the Homer Simpson back into the bush meme. But that's so interesting too, because a lot of people grow up around like just listening to what their parents did. But for you to go
Mhm.
down your own route, which is a rarity, because normally it's like, oh, I'm just gonna listen to what mom or dad or my
Mhm.
older brother or sister are listening to, or my uncle. So what made you get into rock, classic rock, when I'm assuming most of your friends were very pop-esque?
Yeah. I mean, I will admit though, I did have a Justin Bieber face. I mean,
Oh, didn't we
I can't
all?
even deny that.
Didn't we
Didn't we
all?
all? That was the real pandemic, Bieber fever. I'm telling you.
that
I
was the
swear.
that was the first with no vaccine in sight for the Bieber fever. We all had to go
It's
through it.
incurable. It is. But I don't know. I mean, I remember I've always been a big fan of sitting on Spotify and like trying to find new stuff. So I just spend hours and hours each day looking for, older songs, newer songs, artists that haven't really been discovered, whatnot.
Right.
And then I came across Fleetwood Mac and Pink Floyd. And those are my favorite bands of all time. And after that, I've just kind of, you know,
I'm
dived into other stuff.
No, of course, and I can only imagine though, like in the midst of Bieber fever, too, and trying to explain to your friends who Fleetwood Mac is when they're like,
Sid Barrett is. They're like,
"Yeah,
what are you talking about?
yeah, but have you heard Baby? I mean, come on." uh, now, getting to work on music now, the great thing about your music is it's fun. And I think you can know, as musically educated as you are, there's like that cycle of music where there is a lot of the world where they're putting out a very emotional feelings, and it just seems like that's the only thing that's out there. And then for you,
Mhm.
you find this fun. That's the best way I could describe it when I
Right.
listened to it. It was fun. And is it easier to go that route than just go, all right, I'm having a bad day, let me write a song, and very Ed Sheeran-esque or Louis Capaldi, or I can go on and on, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
is it harder to find a fun song and make it and let that translate out there to the world?
Well, I think for starters, I've had a couple fewer heartbreaks than those guys. I'm a
We all
little younger.
I think we all have, but you know what I mean, like the what
No,
the
I know
mass
what you mean. I'm
what,
just
what the
kidding.
masses hear right now in the world,
Mhm.
though great songs, it just seems like,
You
every other
need something
song.
uplifting once in a
Right.
while. I
No, you
think
need that
that
mix.
yeah, I think that a part of my personality always has been, even if like I am having a bad day, like you would never be able to notice. You would never know. So I've always wanted, people to be happy, people to like surrounding me to be happy. So I think my songs kind of reflect that. And yeah, I mean, I would consider them pretty upbeat and fun, and that's because I mean, I consider myself a little upbeat. A little
Well,
upbeat
no,
fun.
that's great too. Now, and making music, obviously your dad is very heavily involved, which not a lot of people that are in your position have that close knit, where it's a lot of negotiations and going
Mhm.
back and forth. Like, was it easy to negotiate with dad to make music with you, or was he just as big of a businessman as if he's working with Coldplay or Katy Perry?
Well, I'm very thankful for having him there because I mean it does I mean what better help to get.
Oh, of
But
course.
I will say he has been pretty hard on me. I mean he treats me like a legit person. He's like, if you want to be an artist, this is how you're gonna be treated. So I mean like if I, sing something wrong, he's like, nope, do it again till it's right. Like there's no like shortcuts at all. I mean he makes sure I'm on the dot.
Is it hard to just leave it all in the studio, and you walk out of the studio doors and it does, and you guys are no longer coworkers, but you're family? Is it hard to like separate that at times after like a tough studio session?
Well, I mean,
Can you
yes,
not
a
carry
little
it
bit.
home? Like, do
Yes,
you
he has made me cry.
but but he wants the best out of you, though. It wasn't like
Of course. Oh
exactly.
no,
But
it's nothing.
I'm sure
It's
it's
you
tough.
can't take
I
it
couldn't
too
even
seriously.
imagine. I worked with my dad at a toy store when I was about your age too, and it was the toughest thing possible because I
It's
went
so
in there maybe a little bit more cockier than I should have in the sense of, oh, my dad's running the toy store, but he was just as tough on me as well too. So I understand that they just want the
Mhm.
best for you, but I just wanted to know how hard was it, though fun, it is business at the end of the day. And if he separated his daughter from his musician, or a little bit a best of both worlds.
I would say it's a little bit best of both worlds. I think that he does help me become the best that I can be, but he probably does it in a nicer way than most, even though
Right.
I feel like it's really hard.
now, now for you going forward, I mean, I think many of artists too, 2020, 2021, it kind of like is in this weird holding pattern of like who's going to go first and who's going to, make that first step too. And just as your career gets started, you get, the pause sign gets hit. Like, so though you've experienced it outside of it and waiting for your turn, how are you feeling? What's the game plan going forward?
Well, I mean, the kind of the silver lining of the pandemic, I guess, is that I've had a lot of time to work on my music and
Right.
to practice performing and to practice really like solidifying my base. So I've been thankful for that. I've been thankful for the time I have. But it'll be interesting to see how everything goes when it opens up. But I hope to be able to perform a lot more places and do a lot more because I mean that's how you get exposure and that's really exciting to me. So I mean I just
And
want to do as much as possible.
the fact of live music is so much different than doing like something like we're doing right now, though there's an intimate connection of just talking to people, but having that
Hmm.
feeling, getting those goosebumps, walking out on stage as those first chords of the first song of a
Right.
concert's about to hit. Have you envisioned what a show would be like, where, when, what the first song would be when a full place, a venue is allowed to hit capacity for you? Have you had that
Well,
dream?
I mean I can tell you about my dream venue.
Well, tell us about the dream venue, and let's put it into motion as if it's
All
going to
right.
happen over the next less than a year.
That would be pretty crazy. I mean, I've always thought that like Madison Square Garden is the biggest thing in the world for me. I mean, I'm moving back to New York in September too, so I'm gonna walk past there.
Welcome back, welcome home, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, that's the dream absolutely to perform there and do my own set. And I think that I would probably start with my first song less honestly because that's been one of my favorites. I love that one. So,
So though you one of your favorite, which is interesting though, because you think as a performer, you save the biggest, strongest one for last and let the
oh,
crowd
I
go
have
crazy.
I have some unreleased ones.
All right,
Just
see,
you
see,
wait.
that's the cool thing about the dream, because I don't even know what's unreleased yet. So
Mhm.
from the way you describe it, there could be even bigger songs out there
That's
for us.
that's exactly what I was. Yep, you
So
know it.
so Elise, I appreciate the time of us sitting down and just chit chatting. And I'm gonna shut off my camera and let you perform in just a second too. But before we let you go, of course, we're in the Dunkin Latte Lounge, and I'm sure you are very familiar with Dunkin. If yeah, exactly, drive-throughs, walk-in, whatever the case may be. But uh, you're in a weird position because normally we ask this question and people are like, "Oh, I want to, hang out with, Katy Perry or whatever." If you could sit and sip a latte, and it could be someone you've never met before, mind you, who would that be? Who would you have a Dunkin' latte with, just to pick their brain, shoot the ish, and just have a good time with no one else around? Just one of those memories that you'll have forever and ever.
Definitely Stevie Nicks.
Okay.
No doubt about it. Mhm.
Hopefully not skateboarding while sipping on cranberry juice.
I would hope not. I would
Sipping on
hope not.
lattes. Sipping
That
on
sounds a little
lattes.
advanced for me. We'll
Yeah,
stick
sipping
with the lattes.
Yeah, sipping on lattes while skateboarding, with her music playing in the background too. All right, so
Exactly.
hashtag Dunkin' Latte Lounge, follow along, and Elise, let's hit up all the socials too. If people aren't following along, they can jump on the wagon now, and then hit you up for tickets when you sell out Madison Square Garden
Amazing.
after the fact. So where can we follow along on social?
So my Instagram and TikTok is Elise Eriksen. So
Easy
easy as
enough.
that.
Easy enough. And congratulations on everything. And it's cool to like you're I know you're waiting, like you're at the starting line, like waiting for the gun to just go and like shoot out there. So congratulations. I'm excited to
Thank
watch your
you.
story over the next decades of stuff, and thank you for sharing your music. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
I guess it's one of those days where you don't feel like talking too much. I swear there's something has changed, but you try to explain that it's not. Well then, put your hands right on my chest, and I'm not asking for too much. No, well then, put your hands right on my chest, and I'm not asking for too much. 'Cause I want less space between us, less room between our skin and the bed, less ways to keep us from drifting apart the way that we did. Less things to fight about, less things to figure out. I want less space between us. Is it asking too much for less space between us? Less space between us. Less space between us. Oh, I've been caught up in my trap. I've been going non-stop, but no. I feel you drifting away, so working at me to say I'll give you more. Oh yeah. Well then, put your hands right on my chest, and I'm not asking for too much. No. Well then, put your hands right on my chest, and I'm not asking for too much. 'Cause I want less space between us, less room between our skin and the bed, less ways to keep us from drifting apart the way that we did. Less things to fight about, less things to figure out. I want less space between us. Is it asking too much for less space between us? Less space between us. Less space between us. Oh. Every day I wake up with a new problem. I see a therapist, she says she can't solve them. I always overthink the way that I should act. I should be myself, but I can't relax. Every day I wake up with a different bill, and when I'm overwhelmed I take a brand new pill. I don't know where I'm going, but I'll be alright. I'll be alright. 'Cause every day people say where you wanna be 5 years from now. But honestly, I don't know, I'm just trying to figure my shit out. So I smile, I fake it till I make it and smile. Throw my hands up, say that I'm fine. 'Cause all I really know is how to do that. Every time I feel bad, I can just smile. 'Cause all that I can do is just smile. I fake it till I make it for a while. 'Cause all that I can do is just smile. I just smile. Oh. Sometimes I don't know the person I've become, 'cause every second I'm just trying to please someone. I don't know where I'm going, but I'll be alright. I'll be alright. 'Cause every day people say where you wanna be 5 years from now. But honestly, I don't know, I'm just trying to figure my shit out. So I smile, I fake it till I make it and smile. Throw my hands up, say that I'm fine. 'Cause all I really know is how to do that. Every time I feel bad, I can just smile. 'Cause all that I can do is just smile. I fake it till I make it for a while. 'Cause all that I can do is just smile. I just smile. Oh. I don't really know who to be or where to go, but no one really knows. Guess no one really knows. Yeah, I don't really know who to be or where to go, but no one really knows. while. So all that I can do is just smile. Yeah, so I fake it till I make it for a while. 'Cause all that I can do is just smile. I just smile, yeah, I just smile. I fake it till I make it and smile. Throw my hands up, say that I'm fine. 'Cause all I really know is how to do that. Every time I feel bad, I can just smile. Oh, you're gonna see me smile. Dance, oh, we got time to move. And I wanna run till the edge of the world with you. Don't wanna waste no time on fighting this feeling. At least now while my heart's still beating, I wish that love was endless too with you. 'Cause we won't live forever. We're only young ones, we're only young ones, wild and free together. We're only young ones, we're only young ones, we won't live forever. We're only young ones, we're only young ones, wild and free together. We're only young ones, so come on. We're only young ones, we're only young ones. We're only young ones. Feel the wind and the dirt underneath my shoes. In the ring, I'm a fighter, win or lose. Don't wanna waste no time on fighting this feeling. At least now while my heart's still beating, I wish that love was endless too with you. 'Cause we won't live forever. We're only young ones, we're only young ones, wild and free together. We're only young ones, so come on. We're only young ones, we're only young ones. We're only young ones. You say we're crazy, young and dumb. I say we're living how we want. I could be right, could be wrong, but you only live once, so come on. Maybe we're crazy, young and dumb. I say we're living how we want. I could be right, could be wrong, but you only live once, so come on. We won't live forever. We're only young ones, we're only young ones, wild and free together. We're only young ones.
Live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.